Hello everyone, my name is Shadow, and I'll be your entertainer this evening. We're going to be continuing on with Scarlet Hollow, playing Chapter 5, which currently is the last chapter available, as far as I'm aware. So this will be our last episode until more chapters are released. Which, as far as I know, they come out about one a year-ish. So, we'll see. So yeah, let's get back into it. Let's just make sure we have the correct save, because I apparently saved a little early last time. Continue. Would you like to see a recap? If this is your first time playing episode 5, it's recommended you watch the recap. Okay, this is our first time playing episode 5, and it's been like a week since we last played, so yeah, sure, let's do a full recap. Also, quick disclaimer, because I don't know what all the recap's going to show, and this is the start of the episode, so we may as well. This game does include a lot of graphic content. And by graphic content, that does mean like they show like the blood and guts and stuff, and deals with some heavy imagery and there are some flashing lights. So if any of that does bother you, now is the time to click away. With that out of the way, sure, let's watch the recap. The funeral of Pearl Scarlet, your cousin's mother, and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Afraid! Dustin is afraid. Poor Dustin. Gretchen! So, what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky, that sort of thing. Oh, Duke. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of the woods at dawn. Oh, poor Duke. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching the other creature attempt to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. You dive for Gretchen, attempting to snatch her away from the thing's misshapen hands. Oh, Gretchen! Sorry, whoops. Oh, Shadow, my hero! Heckin' words floating around the screen. You manage to grab her, but the creature isn't deterred. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out along something sharp and unnatural. But then there's a deafening blast of Duke's shotgun, and suddenly, it is gone. Oh my god, what do we do? Okay, so it didn't show that scene at least. Stella, keep an eye on them for us. Make sure they don't get into any more trouble. Well, that failed. Oh, hey, Wayne. It doesn't look like he's wearing his hood. Interesting. It says, welcome home. My grandmother used to talk about pale creatures called ditchlings. She always said they were a terrible omen, a sign of suffering to come. Interesting how Kanika was just like a shadow there. Very interesting. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh good, he's still here. But listen, you'd better stay out of trouble today. I want you home by sunset. I don't want to hear complaints. Just do what I ask and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. Gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters, or anything else strange or unusual. Again, Kanika's... What's going on with Kanika? What the heck? What are they doing to Kanika? Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. Again? What's wrong with Kanika? So that's why they said to watch the recap. What the heck? Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned is beyond what we can manage right now anyways. And after that weird thing with Sybil sending her to her room last time? Even if it's already doing... What happened? You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. Kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. Figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Whatever. I'll head over as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. My dad's a foreman at the continuous mining facility. He says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. So it's actually really safe and we can hang out here whenever we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. Wait, now she's gone? Not even her shadow's over here. I know she didn't leave that fast. She only left when she took Gretchen and the boys. She's interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Now she's back. What the heck is going on here? There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives toward you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Shadow, are you alright? But wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Except, no, they wouldn't. The three of you manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. I wonder, if we had romanced Kanika instead of Stella, I wonder if it would have affected who was missing. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. There are two of them now. What happened to your glass house? Asshole squatter move out. Kick dust in my mouth. I don't think that's the voice I gave her, but it is now. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Shadow, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now. Then I heard it again. I just wanted to say, I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for those poor kids. Can't imagine how scared they must be. Morning, Tabitha. Is the new blend ready? That wasn't Tabitha, that was Sybil. I'm having a morning. Of course. Shadow, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Shadow, aren't you? My name's Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. Yep. And with that, breakfast is served. He's a dog. He sure is. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're interrupted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. I forgot about that line. That's interesting. I wonder if he's got like a curse as well as the animal talking thing. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor might have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Shadow? Everyone's been buzzing about you. Oh, so he must have already talked to the mayor at that point. He must have realized I was talking to them. So sorry about your aunt. I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. So that was him trying to connect. Gotcha. That makes so much more sense now. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corner of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week, while Shadow's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. Yeah, you're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever gonna change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in this basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. Can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom to have my friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence, as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay? Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch. The floor around it stained in reddish-brown. I'm going for it. Wonder how many other secrets have been in the recaps. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. A smell hits you, the now familiar, wet, unwell odor. What an annoying pest you are, but you couldn't keep me out for long. Seems we've exhausted its power. Holding all these bodies hostage must have been quite taxing. Come along, Shadow. It's desperate, but it has no power over you. There's no need to bow to the will of such a frayed and broken consciousness. Leave it to fester. You fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure of the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. You made the right choice. It would have been so easy to fall for its tricks. I'm proud that you didn't. Be seeing you. I'm so sorry, Shadow. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? She hurries off down the road. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow, once you've had some time to rest. Just a complete summary of all of the voices I've had to do. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. You open your eyes. It's a new day. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let me get this right. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin? Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me. You sure it was Julius and not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it? Y'all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to State Fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it? I had a chat with the mayor yesterday. Heard you did too. So glad you came. Never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. But they never had anything insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately. She said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Oh, it's you. Should I go? Yeah, try not to get yourself noticed. The instant you're gone, Tabitha rounds on you. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours, eyes full of rage, her words a frustrated hiss. Listen to me, Shadow. Really, listen. This isn't some fun little game, okay? This is my life, and if you value yours, you'll keep quiet about what you just saw. I don't care for family. I can make the rest of your stay here a living hell if you cross me. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that could fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. The hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume all of this has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Oh, are you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional world, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand. I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Poor Reese. He didn't know what he was doing. He did, but he didn't know he was going to. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. Dr. Kelly quickly loads them into her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Shadow, I thought we were in this together. You sit on the log beside Stella. Shadow, how did you... Have your fun tonight, but you should consider returning to the estate tomorrow. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. You might be surprised at what you find. So, are you coming in? You drift off together, limbs entwined, exhausted and safe and comforted. Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or it might not. But whatever happens, you'll face it together. It's time to continue your journey. And apparently that was like 20 minutes of recap goodness. Ugh. You wake to the sound of birdsong and to the welcome aroma of breakfast sizzling down the hall of Stella's intimately cozy cottage. The soft cotton oversheet you're wrapped in still smells like her. The gentle morning sun shines in through her bedroom window, speckling the sheets with dazzling spots of light, warming the spot where Stella lay beside you all night. You feel like you've had a good night's sleep for the first time in days, and you know you have her to thank for it. Well, if it isn't Stella's little overnight guest. So happy that she finally seems to be adding a third member to our little pack of 2. Though I hope you know you'll need to make space for little me in that bed if you intend to spend any more of your evenings here. We come as a pair, she and I. Shadow, hope I wasn't too noisy in here. Wanted you to be able to get some more sleep. I know it's early. Still, can't be too bad to wake up to someone making pancakes for you, even if it is at the crack of dawn. Kiss. You take a step forward, leaning in close. You can feel Stella's smile broaden as you plant a gentle kiss on her cheek. Ah, Shadow, you can do better than that. Before you can pull away, she takes your face in her flour-dusted hands, pressing her soft lips to yours. She smirks as she turns back to the pan. How'd you sleep? Aren't I the host here? Isn't that what I'm supposed to ask you? But I slept great. Of course I did. Thanks again for everything you did yesterday. You have no idea how light I feel right now. Let's see. It was nice waking up here, knowing your face would be one of the first things I'd see. Stella's gentle smile spreads into a grin. Well, aren't you romantic? You think my looks are nice? Wait till you try my pancakes. These are what'll have you coming back for more. And that's the last one. Let's have ourselves a breakfast feast. She put an egg on her pancake? Yep. Stella motions with a pancake-laden plate towards the table. You take a seat. Those do look like some good pancakes. I don't think I necessarily told the doctor that I wasn't going to explain Reese's situation. I know she was worried about Stella, but I guess let's take a bite. We'll start with trying the pancakes. You take a multi-layered bite of Stella's pancakes. They're incredible. A perfect crispy crust with a light, fluffy interior, still steaming from the heat of the pan, with a generous pour of maple syrup adding a flavorful sweetness. A rich, buttery aftertaste lingers on your palate. And that cheeky wink. A stack of these, made with love by someone who cares about you, is a perfect way to start your day. Probably I'm gonna go with that one at some point, but I feel like I should tell her about Reese. I know it's probably a bit of a mood killer, but before we figure out our plans for today, we should talk about Reese. Why? Did something happen? You take a deep breath, then proceed to explain everything. Stella stares down at her pancakes in shock, trying to process what you've just said. Tears well up in Stella's eyes. She tries to blink them away before you can notice. What? She looks away for a long moment, trying to collect herself. So that means he's all alone right now, locked up in some tiny room? But I guess if he wasn't, then Dr. Kelly would be. Can't believe I was off dealing with my own pathetic little problems yesterday. If I'd just been there, maybe things could have been okay. Maybe I could have talked him down or, I don't know, done anything besides moping around while my friend went through the biggest crisis in his life. She takes a sullen bite of pancake. With it, she seems to swallow her momentary distress, her casual demeanor returning as she gives you a weak smile. But it's over. I trust you made the right call in the moment. And for now, we have a mystery to solve. Though I will be making a visit to the doc's office soon. I, for one, am glad you locked him away where he belongs. I hope we never see that deranged boy again. I told you, didn't I? I told you he was a monster. Oh, she did. Gretchen did tell us he was a monster. I did not key in on that at all. I mean, I noted it, but, like, I didn't key in that she was actively saying he was a monster. I thought it was gonna be, like the doctor was putting some weird blood disease in him or something. I'm not gonna say that one, I don't think, but this is probably the better one out of the two. It's better than letting him kill someone. Bought us time to figure out the best course of action. Stella continues staring down at her pancakes, but her shoulders loosen, a forced smile plastered on her face. Oh well, no point talking about it. Have a lot on our plate today. So many mysteries to solve. It's good to have you back. Missed you yesterday. It's good to be back. Sitting in the cold all day feeling miserable wasn't exactly fun, but I guess it's something I had to do. Surprised you went out and did anything without me around to drag you all over town. Seems like the mysteries of Scarlet Hollow have finally grabbed you. Today's gonna be an exciting day. I just know it. Hopefully good exciting. But if it turns out to be bad exciting, at least neither of us will have to deal with it alone. Seems like everything that's happened so far is connected to your family. I've been itching to explore the Forbidden Wing since I started hanging out with Tabby. Maybe we can sneak in today and see if it has any clues. Are we sure Tabitha won't be there? Like, I know Wayne said it, but... I know Tabitha. She'll be at work. Plus, isn't there a strike going on or something? No way is she going to be relaxing at home today. We have the place to ourselves. Alternate plan, we could sit here all day watching TV and not stick our noses in spooky problems. Nah, hell yeah, let's snoop. Yes, I knew you'd be down. It's gonna be so much fun. You have no idea how long I've wanted to go in there and see what's in all those dusty old rooms. Couldn't exactly sneak in when Pearl Ann was around, but now... The estate is practically begging to be the subject of my next video. Okay, but you know that's evidence of breaking and entering. Alright, pancakes have been eaten, and I am fueled up for today's activities. Let's head out. Stella stands up, Gretchen hopping down from her chair to stand at Stella's side, and the two of them lead you to the door and out into the chilly morning air. Aren't we forgetting someone? The walk through town is quiet. It's early, and though you can smell the diner cooking up breakfast for hungry miners and brewing coffee for cups to sip while ignoring the horrors plaguing Scarlet Hollow, Main Street is deserted. You and Stella feel like the only people in the world, watching the sun rise over the abandoned library. Isn't there someone we forgot to invite? The estate looms over the three of you, more unwelcome than it's ever been. Gretchen just hiding behind the chat box. As if the small bit of time you spent away in a warm house still full of the love that built it, has made the mere thought of the crumbling manor unbearable. Oh dear, I've forgotten how dreadfully thin the air is all the way up here. However does Miss Tabitha survive at so great an altitude? Perhaps that's why she's got such a sour disposition. Wow, I can barely remember the last time I made my way up that hill. Pearland didn't exactly make it easy for me to see Tabitha, so we usually hung out anywhere else we could think of. Your aunt had a tendency to shoot first and ask questions later, so I figured it was best not to risk winding up at the business end of her shotgun. You only make that mistake once. That's concerning. It's sad to see how much worse it's gotten. That cliff used to be a lot farther away from the house, but it's claimed a lot of ground. The place looks like it could fall any day now. It used to be such a beautiful house. And thus we have evidence of breaking and entering. I guess technically, since I live here currently, it's not necessarily breaking and entering, because I let her in. Also, I am realizing, because I'm trying to look at how the shading is done on this art, she is actually quite muscular, isn't she? Like, that is a proper, like, bicep going on there. Anyway, together you cross the threshold, the ancient door creaking open to reveal the familiar dusty foyer. Is that the bicep? I think that might be like deltoid or something up there for the top one. Anyway, knowing Tabitha isn't here to keep you in line gives the place a new feeling. Like you have complete ownership of the place, and that any secrets it once held are yours to be uncovered, if only you could figure out where to look. You can still feel how much the floor is tilting. Geez, this place has really gone to the dogs since the last time I was here. Why, I take offense to that. If it had gone to the dogs, there would be considerably more comfortable pillows and considerably less cat. I can smell her already. The loathsome feline stench pervades every inch of this house. Everything feels much older and disused. I can't believe Tabitha's still living here. I'm sure she has a lot of memories tying her to the place, but it feels like it could come down around our ears any second. So, where to first? Explore your bedroom. Let's go up to my room first. Oh, got something there you want to show me? Stella gives you a flirtatious wink. Lead the way. Yeah, I gotta check on Dustin and Dustin's mom. The two of you make your way up the rickety stairs and into the guest room. Diable! Uh-oh, sorry, Frou-Frou. So we meet again, Frou-Frou. Why, it has been ever so long. I'm sure you have missed me terribly. If only you were in the grave where you belong, I could spit upon it. You'll have to wait a while longer to indulge in that pleasure, my dear feline friend. I'm mixing up their accents. There they go, growling and hissing at each other like always. Gretchen usually gets along well with cats, but I guess Frou-Frou is just too much of a capital C cat. Well, I am loath to part with the lovely warm spot I have made on these empty sheets. I cannot stomach your foul doggy stench any longer. Frou-Frou leaps from her spot on the bed, launching into the hallway and galloping down the stairs. Good riddance. Anyway, if I remember correctly, this is Pearland's old room, right? Tabitha really wasted no time getting the place turned over for guests. Someone's been here. The closet is widely open, and its contents have been dragged out into the room, but its colored residue smeared on some of the larger boxes, giving you a hint as to who might be behind the invasion of privacy. Holy shit, that mess has gotta be Wayne, right? I think I'd know if he were that messy. Did you say this was Pearland's old room? I knew someone died in here. Tabitha was so dismissive when I brought it up. Pearland did die in her sleep, so one can assume. Maybe Tabby just didn't want to talk about it. It's okay. Now you can just sleep in my bed for the rest of the week. If Tabby gets mad, oh well. She shouldn't have made you sleep in a dead lady's bed without even telling you. Check in on Dustin. You make your way to the dresser, pulling out the drawer to check in on the little opossum and his mom. No! But they're gone. Not even the bread remains. It's just an empty drawer. Oh, are you getting changed? I could give you some privacy. Or not. Whichever. Good grief, it absolutely reeks of possum in there. Dustin. Dustin is missing. Something happened to my dear possum friend Dustin. Huh? You have a little possum friend named Dustin who lives in your drawers? The drawers next to where you sleep? Possum privileges revoked. Sad. Also, welcome in. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm sorry your little friend wandered off. Possums are very cute. I can understand why you'd worry. I guess Frou-Frou probably spooked him. But he's a wild animal, so he'll be fine on his own. And I'm glad you took that shower at my place. You slide the drawer shut. Let's see. I guess let's investigate the closet. You and Stella cross the room to investigate the closet door. The open closet door. The back of it hangs slightly ajar. It looks like it was never a solid wall at all, but rather a door, previously hidden behind the pile of boxes and papers that was dragged out of the way overnight. There is no doorknob, only a small circle of metal where a doorknob would be, punctuated with a keyhole. Is that a hidden door? Yes, I knew it! I knew there was going to be hidden passages. Stella whips out her camera, nearly fumbling and dropping it in excitement. But she regains her steadiness, aiming it into the gloom of the closet, at the sliver of light from the room beyond. Stellars, you're not going to believe this. We're here in the Scarlet Estate, trying to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on around town, and have just uncovered this hidden door in Shadow's closet. I mean, I have been asking this. Don't you think Tabitha's gonna get mad at you for filming in here? Like, legal action mad? That's the nature of journalism. I take risks to get information out into the world. Whether that's the risk of bodily harm, or legal consequences for sneaking into my friend's old house. If we don't find anything, I don't post anything. But if we do find something, and it blows your dark, possibly incriminating family secrets wide open, well, I guess that's a problem for future Stella to figure out. I think we already know Wayne's behind this. Yeah, I guess we found our way into the Forbidden Wing. It could be anything on the other side of that door. Some kind of unspeakable monster, maybe a devious trap, or perhaps the answers to the mysteries that have been plaguing Scarlet Hollow. Or it could just be a boring room, and all this buildup will have been for nothing. Only one way to find out. Stella steps forward, filming as she dramatically opens the door, its hinges creaking appropriately. Together you enter the forbidden wing of the Scarlet Estate. The room you find yourselves in is mostly barren, with no real furniture to speak of. The wallpaper is peeling with neglect, and the floor tilts uncomfortably beneath you. Already you can see why Tabitha would be so intent on keeping you out of these unused rooms. This doesn't feel like a place for humans anymore. Yeah, it kinda seems like you might get some sort of disease walking around here. Or at least tetanus. Stella continues forward excitedly, camera held up to catch every detail. You follow her into the hallway beyond the small forgotten room. Wow, an exclusive look at the ruins of the Scarlet Estate. Even if we don't find anything supernatural in here, this is already great stuff.
Oh, Stella, it's a miracle we survived so long. The places you drag me to sometimes, my goodness gracious.
Before you is a long hallway. Dust dances in the weak sunlight, beaming in through cracked glass. A tinge of mildew stings your nose, warning you away, though there's nothing else to run to now. Nowhere else to run to now. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. Oh, those are fresh prints. She zooms in on what you now notice is a faint trail of human footprints along the dusty floor of the hallway. Not sure where she's seeing that. Bunch of dead leaves and stuff, but that's about it. And a Gretchen, of course.
Those prints belong to that vile shell of a man, I'm certain of it. His scent is unmistakable.
Looks like our friend has been doing some exploring of his own. We'll have to be careful. I'd rather not run into him while sneaking around in here. Yeah, let's investigate the ornate entryway. We're here to explore, after all. You both make your way into the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. It seems like some kind of entertainment room, the sort you'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show off. It would feel elegant, if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. Gretchen, please be careful with the windows. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Geez, it's a miracle any of this is still standing. Tabitha should really think about moving before this half of the house decides to finish falling off the cliff.
This room makes my nose tingle, and not in a pleasant sense of the word.
As Stella excitedly films B-roll of the ruined parlor, something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. And it seems that Stella has spotted it too, as she turns her camera towards the dark entryway. A hidden room? Oh man, the fans are gonna love this! Let's check the painting before we go into the hidden room. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, the church, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting. And then there's somewhere you've yet to see, the historical Callaway/Tremaine homesteads. And that would be our little town. Oh, there's a plaque under it, in commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten. Oof, I feel like writing something like that is just asking it to wind up gathering dust in a neglected room like this. Let this be a lesson to all of my viewers looking to immortalize their life's work. So, all two of you, maybe. Relatable. Off to the hidden room, then. Stella takes you by the hand, her firm grip lending you a sense of security, even as you both step over the wide gap in the floor. Together you duck between the shelves, stepping over water-damaged books, and into the darkness of the hidden room. Now that's an interesting collection. firearms, they've got one of those, like, proof that mermaids exist type things. Not sure why you'd want that for your private collection. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty, but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room.
This room stinks to high heaven, and it's a lively stink, not like the dead stink of the rest of this awful house. Unless my nose deceives me, I do believe there is some kind of wild animal in here. A possum, if I had to hazard a guess. But if anything tries to lay a single paw on my Stella, they'll have hell to pay, mark my words.
Gretchen barks out at the rest of the room, attempting to intimidate whatever it is she smells. Shh, Stella, we wouldn't want anybody to find us here. Who knows, they might try to seal it back up, Amontillado style. Gretchen quiets down, but that doesn't stop her from thoroughly investigating the space. This is it, Stellars. The kind of find every urban explorer hopes for. A hidden room, locked away in the Scarlet Estate, full of weird artifacts and keepsakes no one was ever supposed to find. They weren't counting on a couple of investigative documentarians like us to go looking, but here we are, about to blow your family's sordid past wide open. Investigative documentarians. Is that what YouTubers are? It's what this YouTuber is. I've been thinking of opening with that instead of the YouTube thing. Then I wouldn't have to explain what YouTube is to any old people who ask what I do for a living. Not that the old people around here don't already know all about it and have YouTube accounts just so they can follow my channel. But, you know, hypothetical future old people I might meet. Yes, examine the desk. We might find a dust in. You step towards the desk. Maybe there's something worth finding in its drawers. Top drawer. Nope, no dustin'. The top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with the fancy dagger-shaped letter opener, and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. The wax seems slightly gnawed. That's concerning. Wax is not very nutritious. Underneath, you find a pile of crumpling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needs a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. Hidden among the documents, you find an ancient photograph. A stern blonde man stares up at you from the detritus at the bottom of the drawer, a face you're surprised to find you recognize. It's the man from your vision, the one in the hospital bed. Hey, I've seen that before. That's the picture of theater they put in the local history books. That's your great-great-uncle or something, the one who died in the collapse. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Stella about the vision. I had a vision about him yesterday. No way. Let's go with he didn't die in the collapse. Enoch just said he did. But I saw him promising Teddy that a witch was going to solve their problems. Stella focuses the camera on you as you explain the vision you saw yesterday. She's clearly shocked by this revelation, drinking in every word, eyes growing wide. Is that about a witch? I would have figured Enoch was some straight-laced religious dude. definitely seems like there are a lot of layers to this mystery we have yet to uncover. Close the door. Hello, Off-Brand. Welcome into the stream. Hope you're enjoying so far. See, let's do the bottom drawer. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. And there they are. You're surprised to see familiar faces staring up at you from a nest of odd glass files. How did they get into a locked drawer? Vermin, let me at them. I'll tear their little throats out. Possum privileges reinstalled. Whoa, calm down, Gretchen. We don't need getting riled up right now. Please, no kill. Dustin already dead. Oh. Dustin and Dustin's mom play dead. Oh. Awesome possums. Yes. You don't need to be so dramatic. Gretchen doesn't have any teeth to bite you with.
Well, I see you're the sort to go around blabbing about Lee's personal medical history to every nasty rat in town.
No teeth. Dustin stirs, life returning to his tiny body, though his mom remains in her half-dead state. Ugly dog, no attack, Dustin. Dustin have human friend, very strong and powerful. How'd you get here, Dustin? Its name is Dustin? Other human come into room. Scary human. It scared Dustin and Dustin mom. Other human did much moving around. Dustin afraid that Dustin house would be moved too, and maybe Dustin would be eaten by scary human. But Dustin know about many places to hide, so Dustin and Dustin mom come here. You gonna come back? This just Dustin house on weekend, but Dustin can wait for next weekend. Aww. Can I pet Dustin? I would like to pet Dustin. Dustin appears to think about this, glancing at the form of his pseudo-dead mother, then back up at you. Okay. We get to pet Dustin. You carefully run a hand along Dustin's back, rubbing him gently between the ears. He closes his eyes, seeming to enjoy the interaction as much as you do. He feels oddly greasy, and his fur is coarse and thick, but his tiny body is warm and comforting beneath your palm. Aw, how sweet. I'll edit that part out of the video. You don't need commenters starting any fights about petting wild animals. You know they would, too. They wouldn't understand that you have some otherworldly bond with every animal you meet. Though maybe exploring that could make for an interesting new series. Oh. Dustin got any secrets? Secrets. Dustin not know about many secrets. Dustin know upper room scary. Smell like blood and storms. No good hiding places where humans come. That why Dustin down here instead. Nobody ever come here. Plenty of dark places to sleep to. Oh yeah, no, I don't have a good differentiation between my voice and Stella's, because I don't have... There's too many Stella voice lines. It's not healthy to have a Stella voice. Other secret Dustin know is stuff look like food in other small house. Not actually food. It not stop Dustin from trying to eat it though. Ah, because it's something an influencer would say. Gotcha.
Could turn into food when Dustin not looking.
Dustin, that's not how food works. Let's see. Don't suppose you could let me have those vials you're sitting on? Dustin glances down at the vials underneath him and his death-feigning mom. He takes a moment before responding, clearly thinking long and hard about it.
Human can take weird eggs. That's okay with Dustin.
You slide a number of vials out from beneath Dustin and his mom, who is still stiff as a board. A tiny trickle of drool leaks from the corner of her mouth, leaving a damp trail along the width of them. Bye, Dustin. Bye, Dustin's mom.
Gay.
Aww. You close the door, returning Dustin and Dustin's mom to their hideaway, before turning to Stella with your haul of glass vials.
Dustin, lucky humans have rare good nature. Lucky human, rain and hell beast. Dustin almost die like siblings.
Oh. Alright, let's see what we got in these bad boys. You can do the honors while I hold the camera. Open the vials. You reach for one of them, but hesitate before opening it. This is a fragile thing, and it hums with a strange energy. You close your eyes and focus on that hum, and, to your surprise, at the back of your mind you hear it. You begin to read the contents to Stella out loud. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. Oh, how are you doing that? Stella focuses the camera on you as you continue to read. I'm not sure if news has reached you yet regarding what transpired just yesterday. Many lives were lost. The town is in a frenzy. I hope to mitigate some of the damage that has been done, and thus must speak with you at once. I attempted the journey to your place of residence, but was unable to locate it. I don't think you're the pranking type. You once told me of another way to reach you, and though it seems nothing but a half-remembered fantasy, I am acting in desperation. I can only hope this letter finds its way to you, as you once said it would in my hour of need. I must meet with you at your soonest convenience. Sincerely, E.S. Stella snatches one of the vials from you and closes her eyes, her face scrunched with intense concentration. I got nothing. Then she pops it open, and the smell of an old pond wafts across the room. She wastes no time removing the paper within and unfurling it.
These papers smell so strange, like the woods at night or old leaves. I would be able to pinpoint it better if not for the overwhelming freak of those filthy possums.
Holy shit, that's exactly what you said was on it. How? And then she's interrupted as the paper dissolves into pulp, as if it only just now realized that it has been submerged all these years. Okay, I guess we're not popping these open. Seriously though, how are you doing that? It's like the glass was talking to me, I guess? Beast speak and glass speak. Some people really win the genetic lottery, huh? Stella sighs. ES has got to be Enoch Scarlet, and that Maeve could be the witch he was talking about in your vision. The one who could fix their problems. You should read the rest. Always lovely to see the specific lines in this game. Yeah, it is actually very cool how, like, detail-oriented this game is. You reach for another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence is requested at once. Verena, know that you tried.
Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both knew what was at stake here. The boy's been dealt with. Expect me this evening for in-person discussion. Maybe this is just the residual ghost possession feeling speaking, but it kind of seems like he's referring to the whole... Oh, that's Stella again. Maybe this is just the residual ghost possession feelings talking, but it kind of seems like he's referring to the whole Charlie situation. The boy being dealt with? That could mean Enoch had something to do with what happened to poor Charlie, even if it was just telling Edwardine to do it. Stella gets a distant look in her eye for a moment. She stares off into the dark, as if watching some vision play out, but she quickly snaps back to reality, shaking herself out of it as she continues to rifle through the letters. And the addressee changed. First Maeve, then Verena. The weirdest part about all this is that all these are just in his desk. There's not even an address written on them. That must mean they weren't sent yet, right? Yet she was clearly getting them somehow. This is so juicy. You continue through the last few. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and a place. You'd assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Step away from the desk, I suppose. You step away from the desk. And back to the hallway, then. Nothing else in this room. Let's see where those footprints lead. Even though I still don't see any footprints. Interesting. You find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. As you take in your surroundings, Stella slowly pans the camera down the length of the hall, working to build dread and tension for her future viewers. She clears her throat again, resuming her narration in a charmingly professional hosting voice. Clearly, Shadow and I are not the only people who have passed through the supposedly forbidden wing. Who knows, we might wind up running into someone else sneaking around in here. If you're watching this as found footage after the two of us went missing, now you know where to start looking for our bodies. She drops the camera after her morbid joke, her voice returning to its usual cadence. Looks like the footprints go all the way down this hallway and into that far door. Let's try the middle room. Oh boy, we've got a haunted nursery, everybody. Check the bookshelf, I guess. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane, nursery rhymes, antique editions of Grimm's fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice books. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. Alexandra Scarlet. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Reasons Mommy should take me and Mary Bell to the zoo. 1. We have been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. Mary Bell says elephants are so big and I would like to see 1. 3. I think it would be very fun and Mommy would have a good time. For what it's worth, she was doing pretty good for a kid. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused as the many practice sentences
and letter copying pages flash by. But something near the back of the book gives you pause. In a section that starts with the prompt, "Today I," Alexandra continues with, "talked to the boy in the wall." The boy in the wall? Are you kidding me? People are gonna think I planted this or something. It's just too creepy. No, that was... The Charlie thing was Edwardine. I was about to wonder if that was from that story, but... Could be like if they had servants at some point, could be serving boys. Because servant hallways often ran through the walls. Probably not, but... Hey, hold on. This encyclopedia has something sticking out of it. If Daddy plays with me and Maribel, if my family goes to the zoo, if Mommy and Grandpa took us to work, if me and Maribel and Mommy and Daddy and Grandpa have a picnic. Those are definitely some kids' drawings, all signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. There's a strange, fantastical element to these pictures. Everyone is smiling and sitting together, as any family would in a child's drawing, and yet it feels like these are drawn in the same hopeful way a child would draw a unicorn, expressions of some reality that Alexandra could only dream of. There are less joyful illustrations as well. Daddy napping shows their father sleeping in a chair, a bottle of brown liquid conspicuously drawn on the table next to him, the girls hovering in the doorway some distance away. Mommy going to work shows the girls crying in the upstairs window of a house as their mother walks away, an angry frown scrawled on her face. Wow, these are awful. The viewers are going to eat this up. You get the feeling these are more accurate depictions of the girls' lives. The last picture you pull out gives you pause. There's a new figure here, seemingly drawn behind a barrier. The two girls sit on the other side. Smiles on... There's 3. Anyway, the two girls sit on the other side, smiles on their cartoon faces. The boy in the wall. There he is again. Stella makes sure to linger on the image, getting plenty of B-roll of the scribbled lines. Now we're done here. You and Stella make your way back to the hallway. Check the window, I guess? You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There's nothing below the window but the tops of the distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that somehow still holds this place together. At least for now. Jesus. Let's try the boxes then. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. I was so fixated on the footprints I didn't realize there was a room here. That probably means it has some really good stuff. The kind of stuff people put away hoping no one will ever find it. The kind of stuff that makes for a great video. Oh, the third girl could have been a doll. I got it. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. Even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. You step towards the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. You start opening drawers. Each one is filled with paper, stacked haphazardly, practically spilling out as you attempt to dig through for anything important.
There better not be any more vermin in these drawers. I've met just about enough uncivilized creatures for today, thank you very much.
All these bills and receipts are in Edwardine's name. Guess we know whose desk this is. The rest of the room is so neat and tidy. It's amazing her drawers are such a hoarder's nest of old paper. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Scarlet Ladies have always been like this, pretending they have everything together on the surface, then being a total mess on the inside. Sounds like Tabby to a T. Oh, don't tell her I said that. When you reach the bottom right drawer, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, small wrapped packages, some opened, some sealed, some crumbled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Perland treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what kind of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty. And they've still got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them, too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash, too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Perland to take you to a nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me any time. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I've made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. All my love, Dad. Oh my god. Stella lowers the camera, averting its gaze from the deeply personal letters. Tabby said her dad never tried to get in touch, that he just abandoned her. You pull out another, from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So, the big 2-0. Can't believe my daughter's such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now. I have no idea what you're like. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. Got a guest room all set up, just in case. It'll always be ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelope, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. It kind of looks like Edwardine and Perland were keeping these from Tabitha, on purpose, for practically her entire life. I don't even know if we should tell her. I mean, there could have been a good reason, right? Like, maybe he was awful and telling her would have been painful and dredge of bad memories, but... I mean, the last one we saw was from when she was 20. I assume she's older than 20 now. Yeah, we kind of have to tell her. Yeah, if I were her, I'd have to know. Hopefully the fact that we found this means she won't be too mad at us for snooping around back here. Stella stuffs a handful of letters into her bag. Of course, there's always the possibility that Tabby was hiding them in here. Didn't feel up to getting rid of them, but also didn't want to see them. I guess let's search the closet. You make your way to the closet. It's as lifeless and tidy as the rest of the room. Seems Edwardine kept things neat and orderly. Or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. This looks to me like where Pearl Ann would go shopping for Tabby's clothes. It's exactly the sort of things she wears. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen her in that dress before. The only thing here besides clothes and shoes is a box, shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Interesting. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, and a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. Boys' clothes. That's weird. When was the last time a boy was born into the family? Oh. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in the most illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink. It's cracked with age. Mommy, I am in here too, and I love you. What the?
Even through the shiny stuff, I can still smell the blood. And it isn't nice smelling blood either. Put that foul thing back where you found it, and before it sends me into a frenzy.
It's okay, Gretchen. You don't have to squirm too much. It's just paper. Really, really creepy paper. Stella zooms in on the unsettling note, making sure the camera takes in every detail. Okay, I got the footage I need. You should put that back before you get a curse from it or something. You drop the note back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes. So that sounds like for Alexandra's generation, there was a boy born. And I guess he somehow ended up in the walls. Folks, what you just saw was found in the bottom of a box of boys' clothes, hidden away in Edwardine Scarlet's closet. Yet the only children she supposedly ever had were 2 girls. This mystery is getting so thick, it's gone from gumbo to gravy. Oh, I forgot we saw those records. I found records yesterday, and actually, Edwardine had a stillborn boy, and his middle name was Charles. Stella's eyes go wide. No way. You're not just winding me up, right? Because that is a bombshell. I mean, do you think Charlie? But then, oh my god. Okay, hear me out. What if he wasn't stillborn? I mean, he would have been a bastard son, right? And with Enoch the way he was, and the fact that your family has the whole Southern Gothic thing going on. I hope we find more about this. Forget the gravy, this mystery just boiled over. Yeah, I had completely forgotten about those records. It was like a week ago. You and Stella return to the hallway. Time to follow Wayne's trail. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open.
Where in the world have you taken me? This place is pure evil.
It's okay, Gretchen. It's just a big empty room. Nothing to be scared of. It pains you to stand in this place. Emotions hang over you, strong, oppressive, and overwhelming thoughts that threaten to fill your lungs. You don't feel death here. You feel something worse. A deeper loss, one that's left a wound that has refused to scar. You can't help but fixate on the carpet in the center of the room. The corner's rumpled, as if it's recently been moved. And something's drawn beneath it. You pull the carpet up, exposing the bare floor and revealing what lies beneath. Some sort of magic circle. An ornate ring of sigils has been carved into the floor, 5 along the edges, with a 6th in the center. The circle emits a now uncomfortably familiar feeling. You can feel your gaze forced to crawl over every intricate detail of the carving in front of you. Is this some kind of magic circle? In the Scarlet Estate? Clearly Enoch was pretty serious about the whole occult thing. This is about as occult as you can get. Now, I don't remember for certain, but I think at least this one and this one were some of the carvings we've seen around town. This one might also be, because we've gotten 3 so far. I'm pretty certain one of them was ram's horns. I'm pretty certain one of them was snakes. I think this might be the one we saw in the mines, which would mean there might be 2 more we need to find around town. And then 1 here in the estate, maybe? Not sure. You're too far drawn into a trance to respond to Stella, or even pay much mind to what she's saying. Your gaze crawls across the intricate details unbidden. The serpents wrapped around the staff give you flashes to the room beyond the morgue, yes? And the darkness that swept through the house once it had been uncovered. The fist and chain makes you feel like you're back in the claustrophobic confines of the mines, surrounded by the angry hammering of its memories. The horns have the same nightmare streamy feeling of the world constructed by the furious ghost of Charles Shaw. I was right. The others are new to you. The feelings they emit are less intense, giving only vague impressions of what they might be tied to. Golden fields, the mewling of fresh souls, just slithering out of the womb and desperate to be fed. Another that rings like bells into your mind, calling you not towards it, but away from it, pushing you from its threshold and into the darkness. But the central symbol is strongest of all. It echoes out across the room, a vast ego proclaiming its dominance. You okay? Oh no, did the circle do something to you? Talk to me, Shadow. Snap out of it! Give her a thumbs up. A bell chimes, not calling me, but pushing me away. And there's a field somewhere, torn by hunger and... Hey, come on, stay with me. Let's get you out of this room. She flashes you a confident smile, her eyes shining as they meet yours. Her faith in you is unwavering. Stella crosses the room, training the camera on the door on the far side. Like the way you entered, it too has been left ajar, as if inviting you to explore what might be behind it. The doors to this room seem like they would be almost totally invisible if they hadn't been left open. There aren't handles or anything, just keyholes. So it's gotta be a hidden passage. Amazing. Your family really pulled out all the stops when it comes to the creepy stuff. That's a lot of locks. And maybe a skull inside? You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here, leading back down to the lower floors. There's also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond, time and time again. Holy shit.
My goodness gracious, I simply won't step another foot further. As much as I feel I should always be at my dearest Stella's side, this is one place I dare not go. It's simply too dreadful.
Gretchen's whining reaches a fever pitch. Geez, okay, I get it. The scary room's too scary for a little dog like you. You don't have to go in, just don't go running off anywhere. See how the edges of the door are all messed up? Looks to me like something didn't want to get put back in there. Before you can stop her, Stella steps into the little room, her camera drinking in every detail. Oh my god. You step forward to join her, Gretchen remaining rooted to the floor outside. This was a prison cell. And I'm pretty sure that doll was in my closet. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window, set high in the far wall, is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. I wonder if this has to do with Reese. Because those are some violent scratches. And if Reese's dad was like him, that would make Reese like my cousin or something, quite likely. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Property of Alexandra. Look at all these scratches in the walls. Did a person do all this? Can't imagine how much it would have hurt. It stinks too, like nothing I've ever smelled before. I've been in sewer drains that smelled better. Tabby. What happened here, Shadow? What the hell happened here? The pain radiating from these walls howls through your mind. Whatever lived here lived in constant torment. No romanceable characters related to the MC. That is good to know. Actually, you know what? That makes sense. They wouldn't have made that a potential problem. Still would have been an interesting callback. But yeah, that makes sense. They wouldn't have done that. But the etchings on the walls are more than just evidence of the suffering that went on here. Whatever was trapped in these walls was trying to send a message. To you, or to anyone who might happen across it. Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as this cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. It almost looks like a word, though none of the lines meet up, causing you to constantly doubt whether they're letters at all, or just lines that fool the eye into imagining shapes that aren't there. Your stomach clenches with nausea as you run your eyes along the deep furrows into the wall. But whatever was in here wanted these words to be known. So you do your best to store them away, trying to burn the image of them into your mind, carved deep into the wall, bloody against the filthy brick. Feels like it was the boy in the wall. God, you're right, it has to be. This doesn't feel like old skeletons in the closet either. It smells too fresh, and some of those locks on the door are modern. Stella lets the statement hang in the air. I just hope Tabitha didn't know about all this. I think it's possible that the whole time we knew each other, all those nights we stayed up late talking, she might have known this existed? No, she didn't know. She wouldn't have let something like this happen. That doll used to be in my closet, said property of Alexandra. Stella walks over to the doll and examines it. Property of Alexandra. Kids always talked about how she went missing. It's one of our town's urban legends. Wonder if they ever found her body. Maybe there wasn't a body to find. Yeah, I think we've seen this room. Yeah, we've seen it. You and Stella are interrupted by a sound wrapping around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. One you've yet to travel. You hear that creepy music, right? Stella seems uncharacteristically shaken. She clutches at your arm, camera trembling in her hand. Do you feel like maybe we should take this? It looks like a door handle. We might want that. Oh God, someone else is in here. You know who you'll find if you choose to follow the tune. It's an invitation. Wayne's blackened fingers sending out a message across the quiet house. The two of you stagger back into the hall. Do you think it's him? Wayne? Stella seems to swallow her momentary fear, straightening back up and letting the light return to her features. If it is him, he could have information. He seems like he knows a lot about what's been going on in town. And who knows? Maybe he'd be more willing to talk now that we found all those secrets your family's been hiding.
Finally, the two of you have finally removed yourselves from that wretched place. That means it's time to go now, yes? Time for all of us to leave this awful place.
I would feel better if Stella came with me. Let's follow the music. I do trust Wayne, I would like Stella to come along. Wayne clearly set all of this up for you to see. It's only right you hear what he has to say. You silently take Stella's hand, squeezing tightly as you pull her towards the music. Come on, Gretchen. I'll carry you. Stella scoops up Gretchen, the pug still visibly shaking with the fear this place seemed to instill in her. Though Stella's comforting grip seems to ease her poor little doggy spirit. That's right, my little old lady. Nothing bad happened. Besides being shaken to my core, I guess, but nothing physical. We're just seeing one scary man and then we're leaving.
Thank goodness we're finally getting out of this place. I don't know why Stella insists on visiting such dreadful domiciles, but at least she has me to protect her if things ever go awry.
Yeah, Gretchen's gonna protect us. Her grip is firm and warm and reassuring, and together you make your way down the hall to the source of the eerie music. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters, a network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist, and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet Estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind, adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. But as you make your way into one of the side rooms, utterly dark, save for the open doorway on the far wall, the music stops. There's no warning, no gentle fade, or dramatic slamming of keys. When you make your way into the music room, Wayne is already standing, his eyes glimmering in the darkness behind his stained veil.
I'd hoped you'd come alone. Well, you better get used to me being around, because your days of harassing Shadow are over. From now on, you'll have to harass the both of us. That's all right. You can enjoy your slattern. What's a slattern? You and I are already bound by our fates. You need to come to understand that if you expect to help anyone, yourself included, you're running out of time. He slips away into the shadows. What did he just call me? Whatever, let's just leave, yeah? No? I think we've seen enough, and the floor down here feels like it could give way and throw us down the cliff at any second. Seems Wayne didn't enjoy Stella being there. Well, that's too bad. The warmth you and Stella shared last night seems to fall apart in the fresh air, shaken by the unearthed secrets of your family's past. A tense silence holds between the two of you as your mind does its best to grapple with what you found.
What a relief that we're finally out of that awful place. It's not fit for humans anymore, and it's certainly not fit for dogs. I'd say it's best left to the wretched little things like rats and opossums. Only God's least favorite creatures should be subjected to so much mold.
The cell, the doll, Enoch's occult sanctuary, the boy in the wall, and his outfits in Edwardine's closet. Is it possible your cousin has known about all of this? Your eyes dart back up to Stella. Her gaze is fixed on some non-existent point far off in the distance, and you can only try to imagine what she might be thinking. Maybe she feels you're connected in some impossible way to what you've just discovered. Like you carry whatever went on in there in your blood. And Tabitha, who had lived under the same roof as that cell her entire life. The silence feels like a terrible thing. Like detritus clogging the air, suffocating the fragile growth of a barely formed relationship. There's a feeling that the longer you wait to say something, anything, the more your tentative relationship will unravel, second by second. So say something. Say anything. Just break this awful silence already. Maybe the dungeon was a sex thing. No chance. Do you think Tabitha knows? What? Absolutely not. Tabby's not the kind of person to lock someone away in some sort of dungeon. I know her. She's not the sort of person who would keep something like that hidden from me. There's nothing forcing us to go to Tabitha. I mean, I feel like we do still need to tell her about the birthday cards. I would like to know if Gretchen trusts Tabitha.
Do I? You're certainly putting me in a delicate position, Shadow. I have a distinct distaste for her feline companion, as you know. But she does take good care of the damnable thing, despite its limited capabilities in expressing any kind of affection, and that I must commend. Though you seem to hold a certain discomfort about the woman, and I can't say I blame you. She and that cat have more in common than not.
She's whimpering. Okay, I get it. But if we're not going to Tabitha, then what are we supposed to do? We have to do something. Yeah, I'm gonna say we have to talk to Tabitha. She needs to know what our family kept from us. Yeah, she needs to know what was in those letters. And she needs to know what we found. We'll feel better once we talk to her. I feel like I missed a few explore options since I didn't
scroll through the whole thing, but it's fine. There are no picketers outside the mine today. The only sound is the constant low industrial clinking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along, as they always have. It's nothing to stop you from seeing your cousin. I am mildly concerned about the fact that we still haven't addressed the Kanika problem. Alright, looks like the coast is clear. You and Stella make your way through the front gates and up the short path to your cousin's office. Stella doesn't bother to knock before twisting the door open and confidently stepping into the trailer. Tabby. Stella? Shadow? What are you doing here? Why are you holding a shotgun? I clean it sometimes. Guns need that kind of thing. You know that. Stella, I would have appreciated a heads up that Shadow was safe in bed at your place last night, instead of having to wait up, wondering if my cousin had managed to die while out adventuring around town. There is no problem. Sure, there's no problem. Absolutely not. But whatever. It's not like I've come to expect much social grace from either of you. No wonder you get along. Let's not do the small talk today, Tabby. Please. Stella pulls up a chair, and the two of you sit across from your increasingly anxious cousin. Hey, I didn't say you could sit. We just came from the Forbidden Wing. Tabby, have you been there?
What a dreadful place. You know, it says something about a lady, the way she manages her home.
Stella, what were you thinking? You know not to go in there. I know, I'm sorry, but the stuff we found in there, Tabby, your family hid so much from you. You deserve to know. Thought we weren't gonna just tell her we broke in. We're not attacking you, Tabitha. We're just trying to talk. Oh, Stella's just gonna talk over it, whatever. Okay. Like, Enoch's study? It was behind an old bookcase and there was all this occult stuff in there. I thought, okay, I guess that's our priority. And old files with notes in them? Like, he's been preserving them or something. It was so weird. What, like being into the occult is that surprising? He was a rich man in the early 1900s. Of course he was into the occult. That was like a hobby back then. You know I know that. I wouldn't have come all the way out here if that was it. But there was this other room where someone had drawn some kind of, I don't know, satanic circle on the floor, like in a horror movie. Someone had clearly tried to hide it. You also found these old clothes in Grandma Eddie's room. Boys' clothes, and a freaking note that looked like it might have been written in blood. It said, "I'm still here and I love you," or something. I don't know what that means, but it was in plastic. She clearly wanted to keep it. And these birthday cards from your dad, all stashed in a drawer. What? Someone had been hiding them from you, Tabby. He loves you. He sent them every year. I get the feeling I'm gonna get talked over no matter which one I do, so I'm just gonna remain silent here. You decide to let Stella finish rather than risk being interrupted again. But, oh, she's not gonna linger on the birthday card thing? Okay. But none of that's even important, because at the end of all of it was this cell, a prison cell. Someone was being kept in there. Looked like it had been used for years. And just before we left, we ran into Wayne, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who made sure we found it. But I don't know why. He was all mysterious and called me some old
curse word and left. Yeah, let's go with this one. Brought all this to you because we trust you, Tabitha. Stella's your friend, and I'm your family. Please, Tabby, just open up. When Stella finishes, your cousin gathers herself and locks onto you with a steel gaze. You put her up to this, I know you did. Stella's been a nuisance for years, always pestering me and trying to visit me at work. But even she knew never to cross this line. Breaking into my house? You're not that good at this, Shadow. I see exactly what you're trying to do. To turn my only friend against me, to back me into a corner. Isn't that right? Tabby, come on, that's not what's going on at all. I want to hear it from Shadow. Eh? Yeah, I've turned Stella against you. What are you gonna do about it? We're not throwing accusations. I know you didn't see your dad's birthday cards, so why would I think you've seen everything else? Okay, that seems like a good one. Oh, I'm not the one who came in here saying we need to talk, so you can't blame me for freaking out. It's been a long week. ... Tabby, do you want to see the cards? Stella doesn't wait for her to say yes. She slides them across the table, and Tabitha stares down at them, hesitant. No, I don't need to look at these. Verlan kept them from me for a reason. She knew what kind of man he was. So he sent me cards, so what? It's not like he came to visit. He left, and he never came back. And that speaks louder than any stupid little sentimental message he wrote in some kitschy birthday card. It's no secret why these were hidden. Verlan knew better than to let me hope he'd do anything more than this. You don't have to think that. What if there was more to it? Something else Verlan didn't tell you. Only you know if you close yourself off like this. The sound of an approaching police siren interrupts the argument before any further points can be made. Tabby, you didn't. But when? How? Verlan had a switch installed in the desk ages ago. A direct line to the police. A mediating party sounds like a good idea right about now, don't you think? But I'm here. I can mediate. I'm good at that. How's this? Tabby, I know you're not to blame for anything we found in the estate. Clearly your family has a long legacy of keeping secrets. And I know you feel like we violated your trust by going into the closed-off wing and looking for clues. But look on the bright side. Now we can all try to get on the same page. Doesn't that sound good? Aren't you lonely keeping all those secrets? Please, Tabitha. I don't want this to end with anyone being dragged off by the police. And with what we have on you, don't you think there's a possibility it won't be Shadow who winds up in handcuffs? Oh, do you have any evidence of these supposed crimes? Or just footage of old rooms? Maybe an even better question would be, would you even be willing to use it if you did? As much as I can tell you like Shadow, you've known me much, much longer. And I doubt you'd ultimately be willing to turn in an old friend like me. I don't think Shadow's capable of that much persuasion. Wow. Yeah, fuck you, Tabitha. So glad we can finally be honest with each other. What's wrong with you two? Why couldn't you just have an actual conversation with each other? Hey, I gave it a try.
Didn't have to end like this. We had just decided to work together. I bet we could have left here stronger than ever, with a plan and everything. Instead, what? You're gonna have your own cousin escorted out in handcuffs?
That's the idea, yes.
Tabitha sighs, a certainty settling over her.
I do wish I could be honest, you know? Or really, I wish honesty would do anything. But it's not going to keep the mines running. It's not going to fix the things that are actually broken around here. Because that's what the Scarlets do at the end of the day. We keep the machinery oiled, we make sure its components are replaced when they break. It's a legacy I have to maintain, as cruel and unglamorous as it might seem to anyone else. And I'll keep shouldering that burden alone for as long as I have to. It's what I was born for. You too, Shadow. Though you've been neglecting it for a long, long time. Okay, Tabby, you're starting to scare me. There's a knock at the office door. Miss Scarlet, permission to enter. You were called, weren't you? Come on in.
The door swings open, and Deputy Franklin, the sternest member of the Scarlet Hollow's police force, walks in.
Is that the mayor's goon at Tabitha's beck and call? Yes, I'd recognize that wretched leather stink anywhere.
Well, isn't this a pleasant coincidence? Been looking for you all morning, City Slicker. You're in a lot of trouble, kid. Too much trouble to let you keep wandering around causing mayhem.
Oh, so you were already planning to take my cousin in, then?
As a matter of fact, I was. Yes, Miss Scarlet. See, there have been all these problems around town lately, and...
I don't need any explanation. Go ahead, be my guest. I want an explanation. What could you possibly be arresting Shadow for? Stella, don't interfere. You and I can talk after Shadow joins the deputy. Talk? Without them?
Really? You're handing over your last living relative over? No objections? You won't have me fired for abuse of power or anything?
No, I think some time under lock and key will do my cousin some good. Now, if you could take care of this outside, Miss Richmond and I would appreciate it. I am not getting Stella arrested. Goodness. And I'm not throwing Tabitha under the friggin' bus. Dang it. You can't just take me away if I'm not being charged with something. I've done nothing wrong.
Kid, there's plenty I could get you for, which means I'm perfectly justified to put you on a 48-hour hold.
Seriously? That's 2 full days?
And it sounds like Miss Scarlet has her own ideas as to what exactly the charges should be. But there will be charges.
Hear that, Shadow? You're at my mercy. So you better be on your best behavior. I don't want to hear that you gave the deputy a hard time. Deputy Franklin nods, whipping out his handcuffs. A single smooth police academy motion is all it takes, and the cuffs are locked around your wrists.
So it'll just be the 3 of us again. Just like old times. How lovely.
As you're dragged from the office, Stella calls out to you one last time. It's okay, Shadow. Me and Tabby are going to work this out. Then we'll come get you and everything will be okay. I promise. Deputy Franklin drags you from the office and towards the squad car, tossing you into the back seat and slamming the door. Not sure how we're going to figure out what's up with Kanika from a jail cell, but sure. As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio.
Franklin, pick up. We ain't got all day, boy.
I think Earl's the really old one, so that's fine.
Apologies, Sheriff. It's just apprehending Shadow, as discussed over the radio. That's nice and all, but we need you up at the farms pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing. Turn 4. Damn, this day keeps getting crazier. Suppose you'll have to come along for the ride, kid.
So we're not going to end up in a jail cell, are we?
We're going to break out of the car.
Ah, lovely. Fugitive. Well, Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway, with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he has ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there's definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again. A tingling at the back of your skull, an urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with a threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying that can only stop if you tend to it. There's another stone here, and it is refusing to let you ignore it. The feeling is strange when you try to examine it. Contradictory. Something that both desires to be alone, yet at the same time needs you in its presence. It's bringing something into this world, and it needs your help delivering it. Deputy Franklin gets out of the car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd.
Alright, Sheriff, what's the situation?
Bo got tired of waiting for y'all to come do your jobs, so he took it upon himself to go investigate the Tremaine household. He ain't come back out, and it's been hours.
Irma, I'll do the honors of briefing the officer on our current situation. You can go back to the house and let us handle it from here.
Y'all don't know about his traps and whatnot. Duke was always saying not to go out there on account of the Tremaine insanity.
It's alright, ma'am. We're the police. Facing dangerous situations is our job.
Assuming they ever actually would. The woman, who you take to be Beau's mom, reluctantly returns to the porch of her house, watching the other building intently as the officers talk amongst themselves.
Franklin, you're with me. We're heading on in to get a handle of the situation. Derrickson, you listen in from the squad car. Hopefully, we can settle this without you, but you're our backup if things go south, alright? Yes, sir. Any hope for the hostage? Been awful quiet. If you ask me, I don't suspect there is a hostage. Not anymore. We'll more likely be giving the doc a call once this is all settled.
Well, that's, interesting that they'd even call him a hostage. Oh, that was probably the code that they said. So they probably just kind of declared it a hostage situation based on the info they had. With the tip of his hat, Hugby signals to Franklin, and the two make their way up the hill towards the old farmhouse.
Hey there, Shadow. Sorry you had to come along for the ride. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. Sounds like this won't take long to settle. In the meantime, I'll keep you company.
The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here before it gets angry. You don't really think Beau's dead in there, do you?
I'd love to be wrong about this, I really would. It'd be a real shame considering what poor Irma's already been through this week. But Beau's a big man. Hard to keep a big man like that from moving around and making a fuss. We've seen a whole lot of nothing going on in there. Still as the grave, if you'll pardon the expression.
If you guys are arresting me, could you also arrest the guy who's been stalking me? Since he's doing a real crime.
Stalker, huh? Look, I'll level with you. There's not much we can do about a stalker until they do something a little more incriminating than follow someone around. So, you let us know when that happens, and we can see about helping you out. In the meantime, we'll keep you safe and sound down at the station, where no boogeyman can get you.
Don't suppose you can let me go, since I haven't done anything?
Oh, I'm sure you haven't. But that's why we're going to bring you in to answer a few questions, so we can prove as much. And if we see that you really aren't a threat to the town, we'll let you go, and that'll be that.
Could you at least let me out of the handcuffs?
I would, but you're all the way back there, and I'm all the way up here, and I just got comfortable. Bullshit. Plus, I got no backup. Can't do anything without backup. Have some patience. This'll be over soon, just like I said.
Gotta talk about the stones again. I'm not gonna bribe him. That's an actual crime. Yeah, wait in silence. Nothing else to do but wait. There's a sound coming from the house on the hill. Shouting, angry, panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio.
Derrickson, come in. The sheriff is down. Those damn traps. Irma wasn't kidding. Keep it together, Franklin. Is he breathing? What's the status on the Tremaine and Calloway? Something in the basement. Going down now.
You hear an ungodly noise over the radio. A gunshot, and then static.
Franklin, report.
But there's only silence.
Damn it, Franklin.
Deputy Derrickson hesitates briefly outside your door, as if hoping someone might leave the farmhouse without him getting involved. But after a few seconds, he's heading up the hill, yelling something to Irma. And then a figure appears outside the car door. Hi, Wayne. A moment later, you hear the click of a lock.
Time to go.
You get out of the car, your body moving on instinct. The stone is louder outside. Its song is buzzing in your ears, drowning out the world, calling you up the hill towards the old farmhouse. Can't think straight. The stone's doing something to me. It's all you're able to sputter out. The buzzing drowns out your words. You can almost feel it pulling, your feet aching to move.
It's alright. This'll be over soon. Really would have preferred if we could do all this together, but the witch started it early. Should have known she would.
The handcuffs fall away from your wrists. You weren't paying attention to what he did to make that happen, because it doesn't matter. You have somewhere to be.
She's at her most vulnerable now. She won't be expecting you. So go on. I'll be watching. Nothing bad is going to happen to you.
He gives you a hard shove forward, and then he's gone. But you're interrupted by yet another car pulling up to the scene. Irma, Shadow, I got paged by the sheriff. What the hell is going on here? Where are all the cops? The talking is just noise. The words don't matter. There's a humming in your head, almost like a voice, one you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Oh, come on, where do you think you're going? But you continue forward. You barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. And now you're inside. Oh. Oh, hey, Doc. Probably shouldn't have followed me. Sheriff Hugby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. Jesus!
Careful, Joan. There are traps all over the damn place.
Past the body, you see a giant pumpkin through the door to the garage. Cracked open, its guts strewn across the floor,
Seeds dotted across the hardwood like a trail of breadcrumbs, leading to the basement stairs. What the hell's going on here? Derrickson, is the doc here yet? We need a medical professional down here. His voice is coming from the basement. That's where you need to be. He's been shot, Joan. I think you better call somebody. Avery. Oh, heck, Avery. The doctor's here? Julius, you should let her come down. You don't really want the officer to die down here, do you? I'm not the one blocking the stairs. I'm not the one you gotta convince. It won't be blocked for you. The stone wants you here. Everybody shut up. Avery, that's your name, right? Get pressure on that wound. Yes, ma'am. Get away from him, kid. But the doctor... I don't care. Let him bleed. You're only making problems for yourself, Tremaine. Dr. Kelly quickly pulls out her phone. Damn it, there's no signal in here. I've got to step outside. You keep holding that wound. And no one else had better die while I'm gone. The doctor pulls at the door, but a weave of fibrous tendrils holds it shut. It would seem that the same forces that let all of you in refuse to let anyone leave. Are we stuck in here? What the hell are we supposed to do now? But you already know what to do. Approach the basement. You're vaguely aware that Deputy Derrickson is trying to stop you, but he's too nervous to take a step. You reach the basement door and start to claw at the weird fleshy vines blocking your way. They're strong, but they relent under your touch. They're strong, but they relent under your touch, welcoming you down below. Who the hell? So you tried to undermine me, witch. Should have known you'd try to find a way around the rules. You've trapped the town. This isn't what any of us wanted. You should nullify the deal before this gets any worse. It's just unhappy. I didn't think something like that would be so opinionated. But I have a plan to placate it. If it wants a less broken body, it can have one. Then we'll see if it still feels cheated enough to hold a grudge. It's not too late, Enoch. You can let Eddie have the baby, and your family can go back to normal, happy and unburdened. I'll clean everything up. It can be like nothing ever happened. I'll even leave town. Manipulative hag. It's what you wanted all along, wasn't it? This whole ordeal was just an opportunity for you to have access to it. Well, I know better than to hand an ounce of power over to you, Verena. Our partnership has come to an end, which I'll be continuing on my business, and you should be grateful that I let you continue on with yours. One of these days, Enoch, someone will be strong enough to do what needs doing. I can wait. I can wait a long, long time. Hey. Yeah, it's Verena from the Glass Files. You're not dead, are you? Babble incoherently about your vision. Which, Sybil? She send you? She tricked you into taking her side in all this? Guess I should have known I probably wasn't the only one whose life she decided to fuck with. All that ends now. I'm in charge here, and I'll get what I was promised. Hey man, calm down. It's all good. Speak for yourself. Oh. Oh dear. Bo's having a rough time. Your vision finally focuses, and your mind is once again your own. Avery watches you furtively from across the room. The man, Julius, holds a gun in a silent threat. Franklin clutches at a nasty wound in his side, blood spilling out onto the dirt floor of the unfinished basement. And in the corner is Beau. Something is attached to him, the source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations. Beau's still breathing, but he doesn't look well. The stone brought you here, and stuck you in the middle of another nightmare. Shadow, we can't get to you. The door's sealed shut. Even as she yells to you, her voice is faint, barely audible behind the now thickened roots and vines that block your escape. Let's bring Shadow up to speed, Julius. They look a little shell-shocked. Where do I fucking begin? Alright. So the witch. Caught her doing some shit she shouldn't have been doing. She offered me a deal if I keep it to myself. Always wanted to raise a boy of my own. God never saw fit to give me the chance. She gave me the means to right that injustice. Only it obviously didn't go quite the way it was supposed to. Calloway's interfered, just like always. Made it so I had to hatch him earlier than he was ready. And he came out hungry. Too hungry for me to handle. Kept trying to get at me. So I had to hole up down here. Been stuck since fucking Wednesday night. Damn roots won't let me leave. They've clogged up the drain, so I haven't been able to call that witch and get her to make things right. But I'm a man of preparedness. Figured I could wait it out. Till Beau here decided to trespass. Guess he lost a tussle with my boy, and the two of them wound up down here with me. That about sums it up. Guess in the end it's only fair. Son for a son. Birth ain't ever pretty, is it? It's not like doing it the old-fashioned way, it's all sunshine and roses. Just hope he winds up looking more like a person when he's done cooking. Don't give a shit about your story, Tremaine. None of that gives you a reason to shoot a cop. Self-defense, castle doctrine. Avery, what the hell's going on down here? Why are you here? Don't have to answer, kid. Don't need my business explained to every stranger who decides to pay me a visit. It's okay. Shadow's been through a lot of stuff like this lately. They must be an expert at this point. So, Julius hatched a baby out of the pumpkin. The really big pumpkin. Probably saw it upstairs. And he was stuck in the basement for a couple days while it was upstairs crawling around looking for food. Then, unfortunately, Beau showed up. All I heard was some yelling and crashing around up there. And I wound up with this shit on my hands. So I called the kid to come and to try to help me sort it out. That's me. Julius thought my plant expertise would come in handy. Can't say that it's been that helpful, though. I feel like the baby's freaking out more than ever. Getting it out of Beau without killing him doesn't seem easy. Or possible. Would have been easier if everyone in town hadn't decided to show up uninvited. And why is Deputy Franklin shot? All I did was walk in. You can't just walk into a man's house and expect to have a run of the place. You were getting ready to pull your gun. I was defending myself. Okay. And you know how to contact her, the witch? Of course I fucking do. Think I'm some sort of idiot who makes a deal without some way to get out of it. Not my fault that things went to shit before I could call her up. Fact is, I tried. The only means of contact I got is the faucet over there. It's fed by natural spring water. That's her preferred method of communication. Like her internet, I suppose. But as you can see, it's currently out of order. Our boy's got his meat all up in there. We won't be getting a drop out of it till he's calmed down. You'll have your witch as soon as all this is settled. So don't do anything stupid, none of you. The conversation is interrupted by Beau shifting uncomfortably as the creature lets out a guttural moan. So what, we're just supposed to wait until the Callaway kid dies? That's exactly right. My kid gets born, we all forget this ever happened.
We still have the boiled peanuts. I can't believe I haven't gotten rid of that somehow. So, the witch. Did the witch tell you how to take care of this thing once it's done?
Because it's still going to be a plant, or is it going to be a human? It's meant to be a kid once it's done. Other people seem to figure out how to raise him all the time. Don't need to give me parenting tips. Most babies don't eat people to live. This doesn't seem that unusual to me, actually. Isn't this kind of what babies do to their mothers? It's not like they're eating takeout in there for 9 months, you know? Exactly what the kid said. What were the terms of the deal? When I caught her doing what she was doing, she offered me this ritual thing in exchange for my silence. Offered it right away, like she could see right through me. Knew exactly what I wanted most. I suppose what she didn't know was I'm not the kind of man who'd turn someone in. Anyway, her business was her business. She didn't have to bother giving me some recipe to cook a boy from dirt, blood, and pumpkin seeds, but I took it anyway. Then I just sat on it for a while, till a moment of weakness. What was the ritual? Did you do something to Duke's pumpkin? It wasn't his damn pumpkin. It was on my property. The only reason it got as big as it was is because I fed it my own blood every night since the day it was planted. Bleeding on the dirt like some kind of Satan worshipper. If that don't make it mine, I don't know what is. God knows I felt crazy doing it, though. But I'm not proud to say my judgment was a bit clouded. It was in a bad way. The thought of bringing a boy into the world was just about the only thing that made me feel like I should stick around. Not that any of you need to know about all that. Only serves as an explanation as to why I trusted her in the first place. Yeah, how do you know it'll stop with Bo? Sounds like it was hunting you before it found him. What happens when it gets hungry again? Don't appreciate you trying to pick all this apart. Just sit there and stay quiet and we won't have trouble, got it? Won't have the chance to go after Julius. I'll be taking you in. Not if you hurry up and die. Bo squirms with discomfort. The baby seems to be digging deeper. So we seem to be running out of time. So we either let the child finish, in which case Bo dies, or we try to save Bo, in which case I'm guessing Julius is probably going to attack us. So Julius is probably going to die. It is entirely possible that the child is going to continue being dangerous. This one's kind of rough.
Is there no way we can separate him from Beau? Maybe if we offered him something better? This ain't a debate. Shut up or I'll shut your mouth for you. I don't know, Julius. I think there's something we're missing. And Shadow thinks so too. Maybe it's worth talking about it again. That's why I'm here in the first place, right? To come up with some other solution? And you and I already decided this was best. The discussion was had and done before anybody else even showed up. Hmm? What exactly is it doing? It's fertilizer. He's a person. Not anymore. It's a body that just happens to still be moving around. If my boy had the time he needed, he wouldn't be doing all this. He could have been born quietly in the field like he was supposed to. It came out too early. Exchange has to be made. That's what the crone always said, so I'm exchanging. But does it have to be him? Could we move him to somebody else? Any volunteers? Avery slowly raises their hand. Put your hand down, kid. That was one of them rhetorical questions and you weren't supposed to answer. I wouldn't do this to you. Besides, my boy's got the biggest hunk of meat in the room, and I think he's happy with that. I doubt he'd give it up easy. I get the feeling tearing him out wouldn't be so good for Beau either. Oh. Might be running out of time on Beau. One more question, I think, we can get through. Maybe if we let Dr. Kelly in, she can help. We might be able to save Beau without killing your son. I don't know if Julius is the one you have to convince. Baby's pretty freaked out right now. It's been getting worse since everybody started coming in. It's trying to protect itself. That's right. My boy's got excellent instinct for self-preservation. So unless he decides to let her come down here, we'd best leave it be. Goodness. We really have to decide one or the other, don't we? Beau does kind of seem basically done for, though. Oh, this one's rough, because I like Beau. Maybe he'll survive? Might just be rough off? You rest against the wall waiting, watching that thing as it slowly solidifies. Its breath's more confident as Beau's grows shallow. And Deputy Franklin's gonna step in. He attempts to lean forward, reaching with a bloodied hand for his gun, but he winces, his hand pausing, then falling back to his side. That's right, just sit and watch. I think I've put enough holes in you already. You don't need another one. Isn't somebody gonna do something? Everyone watches each other with unease. Is it alright if I sit by him? Sure, but I'll shoot if you make any moves, kid. I don't want to, but I will. Avery shifts, settling closer to Belle. They take his hand in theirs, which doesn't seem to do anything to comfort the man, as the roots sink in deeper, taking more. Sorry, Beau. It'll be over soon, okay? You're not alone. Nobody should die alone. Oh, ouch. Oh, thanks.
I can't die. Mama would be sad.
But he does. The thing finally pulls away from what's left of Beau, and in place of the dead man's breathing, its ungodly cries fill the room.
Shh, it's alright, boy. You just killed a man. No, I watched him die. I killed you. Or at least I will have if you ever finish dying.
The creature's connection to its room has been severed, and the house groans unnaturally, straining under the weight of the meat that has infiltrated its walls. The faucet in the corner of the room, finally unclogged, bursts to life, and water pours out onto the floor.
You wanted your witch? Well, here she comes.
Did she tell you what you're supposed to do with it now?
Do you know what it eats?
I mean, what else it eats? Your hands are wet. The water's spreading, pooling around you, making the floor slippery with mud.
I'm not calling him it. He gets a proper name now. Joseph, after my father. I bought some baby food. Think I like creamed spinach.
The water is suddenly much higher. It rises up past your ankles. Hey, the basement's flooding. It's up to your chest now. There's no denying it.
What are you talking about? There's no water.
But there is. You just can't see it. Because his words are swallowed by the flood. You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs. Or there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current. Ooh. It's cold and dark. And there are people screaming somewhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They are all dead. 1,000 corpses, 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. Eh? You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream. What the heck is this? It's going to kill everyone. You're not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It has only just been described to you by the daughter you have been teaching, as your mother taught you. You're the only one who can stop it, Mother, but you won't be strong enough. That's an eye, that's what it is. It was blinking. Her words are heavy. Of course I'll stop it. Don't worry so much, daughter. No, Mother, I've seen it. You will try to stop it and you will die. But there's another path. Take my power, I give it willingly. But I can't. I can't do this to you. I won't lose. Oh, I think I end up clicking a different one. I won't be destroyed. I'll be with you, the same as I was before. I will never leave you, so long as you live. Damn. I mean, I have no investment in these characters, so... Except to take your daughter back. You accept your daughter's decision. She is not the child she once was, and there is a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back, her power becomes yours. The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. You have another daughter. This time the vision is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what is coming. Rotting bodies in the street, a smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals, an entire city whose gates will never reopen, everyone inside the walls falling to the curse of plague. You are among their number, your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself, or not enough to stop it. Not as you are. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future. Mother, what's wrong? Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do, but she still carries in her some strength. Enough. I guess explain it to her? You tell her what's coming. You explain what she has to give up, what you both have to give up. You love your daughter, after all. You will miss her, as you miss your first daughter. She is angry. Even when you try to explain that she will be a part of you, that she won't die, she cries and cries. She tries to run away from you. Fate is attempting to cut its loose thread. I'm starting to see what happened to Kanika. You do not let your daughter run from you. No plague comes. The city never knows that it would have been a ruin. But there was unhappiness in you. She didn't understand, and what you took of her is angry, confused, and restless. You will have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you have done, over the years you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital, in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war is brewing. The eyes of those who hold fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages, and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations, children born to die, decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing, if only you have more power of your own. You call your daughter to you. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by the reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. The daughter joins her sisters easily, as she has been trained to do. You are the only one who will remember her sacrifice and her name. A small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. The people in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sights on a place where there are no kings. And yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here. You have discovered if they're vicious enough to want it. The hunger in him senses the power in you, and for a time you humor him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort, you and your daughter. You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you can manage, not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed, a fledgling nation devoured in the nest, a man who sits on a throne where none were meant to be, a world under his cruel fist, bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. He is already on his way. You realize too late. You have been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war is coming whether you strike now or not, the loose thread sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter, until you don't. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way he would have. Blood is spilled, less blood, but you still feel every drop. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here they are small, the decision simple. You make them all the same, helping where you can. A storm halted, a conflict settled. Until one day, you are shown a dark pit. Splintered wood, debris trapping everyone inside, bodies burning as the very rock catches fire. Children screaming as their flesh bubbles, then silence as lungs fill with smoke. You know the choice that lies in front of you. She didn't, though, did she? Because we know the Shaw mines. You take your daughter's hand, and you look at her in the eyes. They're green like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air. But you can't hear the screams from here. You assume you will die one day, like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him a vision. He has already decided. He is bringing something here. Something ravenous that doesn't belong, but that has been pressed against the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way now, whether you help him or not. More of the threads you followed come into focus. And for the first time, you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow, its toll eternal and incalculable. But there's a new thread, too. If you are patient enough, if you are strong enough when the moment finally comes, if you do everything right, you can devour this thing that sits outside the world. And it will give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you care to fix. Floods, plagues, Wars? Kings? You look into her green eyes, so much like yours. Eh? I don't know. This is honestly the eye is looking at me now, isn't it? It moved. This is the weirdest thing about doing, like, a prologue episode. I don't know what's going to change my game. I don't think I can... But you did. Oh. There are make no incorrect choices. Well, interesting. I just got an achievement for not making any incorrect choices while playing the past. Interesting. You welcome her back, as you have with every daughter before her, and you help the man. He is arrogant. He cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be, if you're to stop the hurt that would scar a world without you there to guide it. And now you are here, on the cusp of the end, the final daughter. Shadow? What are you doing here? Are you real? No, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a dream or not. I've already made my decision anyway. Don't bother trying to talk me out of it. I finally have a real purpose, and now that I know what that purpose has always been, I can't go back, or it would hang over me for the rest of my stupid small life. So we actually forgot she existed. I forgot you. I can't believe it. All day it's like you just didn't exist. That's okay. It's part of all this. Soon enough you can go back to forgetting, and it'll be like all this never happened. You won't even know to be upset about it. What decision? Did you not just go through that whole life story thing? Was that... I mean, yes, I did. Was that just me? Look, I'm going to do what I was born to do. I'm going to save lives, Shadow. More than most people could in a lifetime. What is she trying to prevent? Do you even know? That thing that Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc. And all those disasters my mom would be able to stop if she takes its power for herself. I'm so much smaller than all that. But in this moment, I can be what stops it. I can be big enough. My life can be meaningful. Do you really feel like you have to sacrifice yourself for your life to have meaning? Working at a shitty little general store in a dying town? Yes, I would call that pretty meaningless. You know, I don't think I've ever seen you without glasses. Why is that a mystical option? Huh?
Of course, I should have known better than to think I could hide from you, Shadow. I wasn't trying to trick you for what it's worth, though I'm sure that doesn't sound very truthful. Please try to trust that this is all in your best interests. I'd hoped it would all be over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you right back before I could finish my work. But you know this has to be done. To save you, to save Tabitha, to save everyone in town. Haven't they all been stuck long enough? Kanika can't save them on her own, but I can. I wish this wasn't how it had to be, but it's the only way your story gets a happy ending. There's no illusion masking her words, no trickery. She is speaking her truth. But perhaps there remains a narrow path for you to walk. This isn't an explore option, but I feel like if I waste time on the explore options, she's going to push forward. It always feels like it's with Sybil that I run out of time on the explore options. You can pick explore first? Okay. Why should I trust you after everything that just happened? Feels like a terrible idea. Oh, the baby. The one he was supposed to keep incubating until the pumpkin had shriveled in the field. I gave very clear instructions, you know. It isn't my fault that the Callaways decided it was their property, or that he decided to hatch it while it was still hungry. I saw the possibility. I won't lie to you about that. But I see many possibilities. It was just as likely that the baby would consume him before anyone was the wiser, or that the pumpkin would be taken to the fair, and the thing inside would die where no one could see it suffering. Sometimes, Shadow, pain is unavoidable. Julius wanted a fix for everything that had gone wrong for him over the many decades of his life. I couldn't provide that, not after who he had decided to become. It was already too late to stop those consequences from reaching him. What you're doing now is inviting a future with more pain. Please, let me choose the kindest path instead. So it's her life or mine? That's a very distinct possibility, yes. Though any harm visited on you won't come from me. You're in danger, I'm sure you can feel that. And I make a powerful ally. Believe me when I say I understand the burden that's been placed on you. Yeah, what does happen to Miles? It only mentioned the daughters. Of course not. Do you think I hadn't had other children in the past? Just become something else to them. Someone who still loves them. He won't be alone. He'll still have the both of us, just in a different way than he used to. The question you should be asking yourself is what will happen if you stop this from finishing? Do you think Miles will be better off with a broken family, in a town where everyone stays trapped? Let him be free to have a future, Shadow. What's up with all the mystery? Those are the rules. Every bargain has its rules. What about this bargain? What rules would I be agreeing to? This isn't a bargain. I was always going to help you. After all, I intend to break the structures that have been holding everyone in place, but I have no interest in building a new prison. I'm good on the rest.
Speak the name that was carved in the cell wall. Of course, the scratching on the walls. This is what it was for. Shadow, no, you don't know what you... You don't have to know how to speak it. The thought of it brings the sound to your lips, the name forcing its way out, yearning to be free from your mind and used as the dagger it is. Oh! The dagger tears into her. Everything that is not her pours out of the delicate tapestry of her existence. The parts she arranged so neatly scattering, their voices filling the dream around you. Confusion, as her careful order is upended. A single dangling thread comes into focus. Shadow, wait! You can't see now how this will benefit you, because you don't understand the danger you're in. Your enemies have made sure you can't, not until it's too late. I am the only one who wants to see you walk free, but I understand why you wouldn't trust me. Of course I do. I've had to weave my own little lies as part of this ridiculous game. Please know that I'm not lying now. But even if you don't believe a word I've said about your own safety, I'll give you something else too, something you need. As you are now, you're limited in your potential. There is so much more you could be. That sounds like a deal with a demon. I could give that to you. Consider it a wish granted. I only need to finish what I've started. Oh, can gain traits. If you want me to trust you, then give me what you're promising. The question is, it's an explore option, so I should still be able to pull the thread if I do that. She's probably going to say she can't. Yep. It requires a strength that I don't currently possess. If you want what I've offered you, you'll just have to trust me. I'm doing this for everyone, remember that. Yep, not worth it. Pull the thread. You ignore her offer. You grab the thread and pull. The delicate tapestry is unwoven, which is careful work torn open, if only momentarily, as her daughter's hands are finally unbound enough to grab for their mother. Their cries are a song, calling out as they drag her down into the depths of their mass, craving her warmth, her attention, her love, as it has been so long since she held them. That is a cool piece of art, though. The tapestry weaves itself shut around her. The cries grow quiet, sated. The witch is gone. Kanika catches her breath in the space once occupied by her sisters. Now she stands alone. Though she isn't really alone. Not anymore. And she never will be. She wears the weave of all those generations of power. Someone has to. What did you do to me? Welcome to the Dead Moms Club. I think I gave you her power. But I don't know how to use it. She never taught me anything or told me anything. Magic wasn't supposed to be real. Well, I have to do what she was going to do? How do I even know what that is? How do I save the town if I don't even know what's wrong with it? God, this is so much pressure. I never asked for this. I don't think I can handle it. I mean... yeah, we'll figure it out together. That's what we've been doing all week, remember? You're right. You're right. We can figure this out. You made it all the way here, and did whatever it is you just did? Nothing is too much for us to handle. She takes a deep breath, collecting herself. We'll just take it one step at a time. First step, figure out how to get out of here. It's weird. Everything felt slippery before, like I couldn't hold on to anything. But now it's like I can see how it's all put together, and where all the seams are. So if I just... You don't see whatever it is she's doing. The world around you goes dark. You're moving, like a current is carrying you somewhere, buoying you up to the surface. Your body ascending rapidly until finally, you surface. Somewhere wet. That's is this Tetanus Lake? You're outside. It's raining, and you have no idea where you are. Tulip! Janie! This is the end of episode 5. Only one major content update remains until the story reaches its conclusion in the final chapters. Which also means that is the end of our episode today. So, yeah. So, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. As always, if you'd like to catch up on all of my previous episodes of this game or anything else I've played, they are all uploaded on my YouTube channel at Roanoke BT. Or if you'd like to catch this live when it does eventually come up, if you'd like to catch this live when the last episodes do eventually come out, or watch any other games that I play, you can do so at twitch.tv/ShadowRoanokeBT. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you next time.